We have a Danish politician here, and all of us know that the history of Denmark and the Islamic movement, and we have freedom of speech and those very famous caricatures and all that. I'd like to know, as a politician, as a government, how have you dealt with those issues, and what lessons we can get from all that trouble that was happening in Denmark to deal with our problems here.
Thank you for inviting me. Yesterday I came back from Pakistan and Iran. I was with the Danish Foreign Committee in Iran and Pakistan. And it was, you know, I'm afraid that Pakistan soon will be divided in two countries, Talibanistan and Pakistan. It's very, very, you know, we met some politicians there and some of the Islamists, and they are strong, and it's made me afraid. In Iran, the most extremist we met was the woman. The vice president of Iran, she's a woman, and she's very, very extremist. So back to your question, you know, during the Khartoum crisis, we founded the organization, the Democratic Muslims, and we did it 4 months after the beginning of the crisis, because until then, the Islamists had a monopoly on Islam and speaking for the Muslims. And we, the secular Muslims, we were very sick and tired of hearing the Imams saying that they speak for all Muslims. Then we established the Democratic Muslims, and it made a counterbalance to the Islamists. So the best lesson we have learned from the Khartoum crisis in Denmark, or the Danish people have learned, is that you can't any longer say the Muslims in Denmark. The Danish people show that you have different kind of Muslims. And the first survey made after the Khartoum crisis showed that our organization, the Democratic Muslims, was supported of 20% of the Muslims in Denmark. Only 3% in Denmark supported the Imams who started the Khartoum crisis. So, but the Islamists in Denmark have learned a lot from UK. 6 months ago, they established the Danish Muslim Council. What happens here inspired the Islamists other places. In my opinion, the Islamist lobby in UK are the strongest in West Europe. We saw it when you rejected Geert Wilders to come to UK. I think it was wrong. I know one of my friends, he talked to Geert Wilders, and he said that he was happy that you didn't let him in. And it was, you know, I really can't understand that you have very extremist, anti-democratic imams in the UK and reject Geert Wilders. I don't agree with Geert Wilders, but he has never encouraged the terror. He's non-violent extremist. Yeah.
Another question. You're the head. You're one of the leading members of a Muslim Democratic Muslim Association or something like that. I don't remember the name exactly. But why is that insistence of having, you know, segregating people, even if it's democratic Muslims? while people are living in Denmark or UK or wherever, they're citizens of that country. Why do you need to segregate it that way and have a
I'm first politician, member of the Danish Parliament, and until the Khartoum crisis, I was against that people organized on the basis of religion and ethnic group. I have always been against it. In my opinion, the best integration is to be organized in the Danish, English, and so on organizations. But establishing the democratic Muslims was necessary to give the moderate Muslims, the secular Muslims, a platform. Until then, the Islamists had monopoly on Islam and the Muslims. Every time the Danish government wanted to learn how to integrate the Muslims in Denmark, they called the imams. The imams were, they often were in the government's offices until the Khartoum crisis. But, what we did with the democratic Muslim, we said that we want to do it only for now, not forever, just during the Khartoum crisis. So the organization Democratic Muslims are not active right now, but only when crisis happened, then we gather, because all of us, we are very busy studying, working, and so on. We don't want to organize and use our time on religion. And one of the most important things with the Democratic Muslims was this principle that we separate the Sharia. We said you can separate the Sharia as faith and Sharia as law. We don't mind the Sharia as faith. That's how to pray, how to eat, and so on. If people want to pray and eat, it's their private matter. But Sharia as law, we are against it. And you can't be Muslim and at the same time go against the Sharia as law. Yeah.
Sorry. Isn't it better just to join the secular movement rather than being segregated as Muslim seculars, Muslim Democrats?
Now I'm not a chairman or member of this Democratic Muslims. I established it, and we had 10 commitments. If you ask the Danish people, the Danish politicians, they said that the organization Democratic Muslims was very, very important and necessary during the crisis. Especially because we talked to the Muslim countries. We talked to Al Jazeera, Al Arabiya, and so on, and told them that the freedom of speech is first. And we told them that God is great. He's strong enough to protect himself and his prophets. So why should we intervene and protect him?
Thank you very much.